Life is pretty much out of everybody's control. We make plans in life and God probably looks at you like, yeah, okay. You know, he already has everything set for you. When you go through tough times, you have to know that, you know, you're getting put in these positions for a reason. We may not know those reasons, but that's how I look at a lot of things that go on in my life. And I think it kind of makes it easier, even though I think about it all the time. I think it kind of weighs less on my shoulders when I say, you know, I'm gonna just pray about it and whatever God has planned, that's what's gonna happen. It took all of us by surprise because I was already in the midst of trying to look for a team overseas, you know, what country I was wanted to go to, and I signed with an agency and I started, you know, giving her all these information on film, and she calls me and we're just trying to, you know, figure out what's going on, and she's like, I was doing some research and FIBA has a rule about, you know, headgear or gear that you can wear in the games, and we didn't know the exact rule. Like this rule just, it was so broad. Nobody had it on paper. Nobody could find what it really was saying. So I went ahead and emailed FIBA. This was their first response, was that we try to keep everything religiously neutral. We talked about it like, well, if that's the case, then they're trying to keep everything religiously neutral, then people who have crosses of tattoos or biblical verses or whatever shouldn't be able to show those. And so that's what I wrote back. Probably 2 weeks later, I got another email back, and that's when they pulled up this rule. And it said safety reason. Now they went to safety. You know, when you go to safety, you can't really question safety anywhere. Like anybody can say, oh, that's a safety precaution, so no.
It's tough, you know. She had to sit out. You take that year off, it's not an ideal scenario. Had she been able to go over there right out of college, there's no doubt that she would have found a home and she would have been able to move up, you know, fairly rapidly, I believe.
You know, everybody thinks, yeah, it's just a sport. But it's a place where once you step on the court, you have no other worries. Like you could have the worst things going on in your life, but when I play basketball, I worry about nothing. And I think that's how you know you love the game, when you let nothing affect it. I'm used to warming up on the court, getting ready to play a game. Not being able to be that person anymore, it's just like, well, what can I do to replace that? Right now, I don't know who I am. It's a scary feeling, you know, because I was so used to being a basketball player, and I don't know how to handle it. It's just like, am I anybody without basketball, you know? And it's weird. It's like, am I still myself? You don't know. I don't know how to be normal right now. Probably just doing like a mini clinic, if you want to call it, just to have them do some fun games, probably. We'll see when they get out here. Walaikum salam. Are you guys ready? Yeah. All right. So come on. I'm just gonna warm you guys up a little bit first. First move is gonna be a crossover. Now the key is to dribble low. You wanna keep the ball below your knees, okay? Like this, cross. Okay? What's the key? Stay low. The ball has to be where? Your knees. Nice. Okay, go ahead. Good job. It's hard being a young Muslim woman in America. You have to be strong, regardless. Like, it takes strength to walk outside and look different than everybody else. People kind of look at you different when they see Muslim women. They have this, stereotype that they're quiet, that they're submissive, that they're not supposed to do these certain things. And I kind of felt like when I did wear it, when I first started wearing it, I felt like I couldn't be myself. I had to find a way. Come on, somebody make it.
Come on, Sarah.
She got her. You're out. Good job. Next person. Shoot it. Good job. Nice. Girl, 2 in a row.
I feel proud of myself.
Nice shot.
You cheated once or twice. I know you
Both got turning around.
There was times where I felt like, maybe I should not cover anymore just so I can play. But it's just like, is it worth it? Do you want to conform? Right now in this world, I think conforming is one of the worst things you can possibly do. I was gonna finish school, I was gonna play basketball, I was gonna do all this stuff, and now it's just like a huge question mark. Do I wanna play for an organization that wasn't letting me play from the start? And, that kind of goes through my head, like, these people don't want me to play in general, so why am I still going at it so hard and eventually, if it does work out, play for them? What am I gonna end up doing? You did good. You won. You really won. Good job. Y'all want to play again? Play again?
She's willing to fight this fight for the young girls that she's instructing now, those that have this love for basketball, who will not suddenly hit this roadblock. And I think that she understands that they are going to go up against this ban in 10 years, 20 years, if she doesn't do something about it. She has had to question herself and her faith and her future, every aspect of her life. Her identity was as a basketball player. What it's done is that it made her reassess everything. Was her love for the game stronger than her faith? Is she really being forced to make a choice between faith and sport?
In talking to people yesterday, basically no one's ever heard of the hijab ban in FIBA.
Right.
And so even though these are people who are extremely expert in sports, even your fellow athletes have never heard of it before, and they were kind of shocked. This has probably cost you your career, and it's turned you into an advocate.
So I'm not really nervous because I'm just telling my story, and I think at this point, just after hearing the panels yesterday, I think it's important that they see something that's kind of real life. People didn't know about FIBA and hijab and all of this type of stuff, and they were really, like, this one woman cried. And so just to see other people, like Caucasian, I don't know what religion they may have been, where they're from, the country, like, they're affected by it regardless, And so you can see how universal this
situation is. And that's why I've been saying lately that it's bigger than basketball.
The hard part is these federations are very difficult to penetrate. It's difficult to find and get access to these people. It's in a sort of elitist, secret society. It does take people of power. So people at USA Basketball, if the NBA or the WNBA could get involved, fantastic. That's the kind of change we need. We need people with power.
I was on the FIFA Executive Committee for 3 years as one of the first few women in the room. In all our searching, we were unable to find a single example of a woman having a headscarf injury playing football. And it took a couple of years, but eventually we succeeded in having the rule changed.
Well, I haven't been told I couldn't play because of what I wore, but I was told that I couldn't play on this field because that field's for the men. I've been told I had to play on, I played on substandard fields, had substandard uniforms, got a handshake for winning the Women's World Cup in 1991. I know what that feels like.
It's important that people can see that the game reflects the world's population. It's a world game. There's around 500 million Muslim women and girls in the world. To me, it's a powerful symbolic message that you belong.
I'm here because I need help. I need help and I need support from government officials, from people at the top of federations. This was way past basketball and FIBA. Like, this is what this whole meeting was about, is human rights.
Her testimony inspired the room. She doesn't want anyone else to feel this type of loss and to have to find a new way to navigate her life, to figure out, what am I going to do if I don't have basketball?
The legacy of exclusion that women face in sport is something that will be overcome. It's not a matter of whether, it's just a matter of when and how soon. I would just say one more thing as a message to Bilqis and many more Bilqis who are out there. Sport is a birthright and it should be yours. You should be able to play.
There's power in what you say, own your voice, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, there's power in what you say, own your voice, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The future is female. The future is female. Bring it back. Power in what you say, own your voice, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, there's power in what you say, own your voice, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
How could girly ever be an insult? All the women I know are ones moving culture. What would happen if we all believed with a little less aggression, more femininity? We have to value girls more than their looks. The biggest threat is a girl with a book. The system must make room for all that we do. We've been bleeding each month till we gave birth to you.